3 or 4 for each of you. Jinhee, this is a very common one when you're introducing a topic or something. I want to tell about. Choose one of the following. I want to tell you about, I want to tell you guys, I want to tell you all about, or I want to talk about. So, one or the other. And then gathering Starbucks mugs, you kept saying gathering. I would probably say collecting. Gathering sounds more like with your hands, gathering some fruits and nuts and berries like a squirrel or something like that. First time I thought that Europe, the way you phrased that, first time I thought that I wanted to go to Europe, or first time I thought about Europe, first time I thought that Europe. It was just a little bit strange of a sentence. And then a very small one, you said give a birth. Just the small makes it sound pretty funny. Give a birth. It just, we'd say give a birth. You give birth. And also, usually we probably just say have kids. Give birth is more emphasizing the exercise of. It doesn't sound bad or that funny, but we usually just say have kids. Yeah. Suan, you said caffeine. It's caffeine, just pronunciation wise, with an E sound instead of an A sound. You said on the streets someone have examined for the people. I think you used the word examine because a lot of times we call it like taste test, right? And test is similar to exam. Examine means to look closely at something. Probably not try it. So maybe, to have some taste test. Taste test is a common phrase. They didn't correct the Starbucks coffee. I'm not sure what you meant to say there. Maybe they didn't change? I'm sorry. I wasn't sure exactly what followed that sentence. They didn't correct the Starbucks coffee. I wrote it down that sounded strange. And then, I'm going to call you out here. I'm going to call you out means going to, not make fun of you, but just, I'm going to call you out. When you're talking about the CEO, you kept saying he. Maybe say he or she. Or she. They, right? It sounded a little bit funny that you kept referring to him as a guy. It was not that big of a deal, though. And then it will be the bad effect. That I've also heard that one too. You would say it will have a bad effect, or it will be harmful, or something like that. It wouldn't be a bad effect. Hyunhee, when I go to abroad, again, take away the word to. When I go abroad. When I go to another country, you use the word to. When I go abroad, you don't use the word to. When you talked about the graph, you did a very excellent job. The only mistake, a very small one, you said that sales is $43 billion per year. Probably say their sales, T-H-E-I-R, E-I-R, referring to a company almost as like a person. Their sales instead of that. And then after I looked this chart, I would use the word at. After I looked at this chart. Usually we look at something. We probably want to use the word at. And then another one, also that's very common, many of my students use this. Most of them have the same menus. They make menu is with a plural, with an S. But you're almost never going to do that. Menu is a singular word, that menu. Look at the menu. The only time you would ever use menus is if you have multiple menu pan. Here are some menus. I give you 3 menus. That would be the only time you use it with an S. Chul, I'm worried about too much caffeine. I would probably throw in the word I'm worried about having or drinking too much caffeine. Just sounds a little bit nicer. There are several chains in Seoul. You were talking about whatever. I would probably say locations. Chain makes it sound like Burger King chain and McDonald's chain and Wendy's chain. I think you were talking about Starbucks, right?
Starbucks chains.
Yeah.
Branch
or location sounds, instead of chain, sounds better to me. And I think it was succeeded. I think, as you said at the end, I think it was, you would say successful. It was successful, or it was a success. You can also say, I think it was a success, or I think it was successful. So one is a noun and one is an adjective. Same meaning. Yeah. Or you could say, I think it succeeded. You could just take away the word was. All three are fine. And Gumyeon, you said a year before last year. It sounds strange because you're saying the word year twice, right? A year before last, or probably we say the year before last. And then you would not say last year. You're just repeating the word year twice. The year before last. I don't like to be a caffeine addiction. You don't be a caffeine addiction, you would have. I don't want to have a caffeine addiction. Similarly, you could say I don't want to be addicted to caffeine. Be addicted to, but not be a caffeine addiction. You understand?
Yes.
And then the last one, you said, will be the son of the CEO now. The way you phrased it, he will be the son. It sounds like he's not the son right now, but he will be the son. He will be the son of the CEO. I think you just put the word "will" in the wrong place. The guy who will be our CEO is the son of our current CEO, or is the son of the CEO now. Even if you say the CEO now to the current CEO or the present CEO, also helps the flow of that sentence as well. Any questions other than those?